morning. We are here in Washington Costco, delivering a load of paper towel rolls. It's 4 in the morning. The clock on the truck is wrong. Early morning drop-offs are always the best. Unless, of course, the broker screws you over and they give you way too long to deliver a load. But other than that, things are good. Things are good. I slept at Love's truck stop down the road this morning, and now we're here. Have another drop-off at another Costco after this one, and then I'll go pick up my load home. Truck's running good, full of fuel. There's always a calm in the mornings. I always love working in the mornings, either if I'm doing local work or out on the road. I always seem to get more things done in the morning when nobody can distract me or nobody's in the way, and driving at night is always the best. Nobody's on the road, the ports are all closed. Occasionally you'll get a cop that's hiding somewhere, but as long as you're not breaking any rules, driving at night, that's the best way to go. Less stops, less interruptions. You can drive so much further. I love the mornings. Hope everybody else is having a good day. There's my trailer over there. Good little reception desk here. So that was pretty easy going. You always love it when the shippers and receivers are good and punctual, and they unloaded me pretty quick. They unloaded me in about 25 minutes, which is pretty good. Every shipper and receiver is different. So this Costco, I'd never been here before, but the guy came out. He was kind of mad at me, but not like too mad. I guess he told me that I need to chalk my trailer and get out of the truck and wait inside. I can't sit in my truck while they unload me, which is kind of dumb in my opinion, because that's what every other dock does. Almost all the shippers tell you not to get out of your truck, and now this Costco's telling me that I have to get out of my truck before they start unloading me. Anyways, it's all good. They were very good and professional, and most of the Costco's I've delivered to, they're very, very professional. But they are strict, so they have appointments and can't be there more than 45 minutes before your appointment. And but they will unload you fast. They're very good at that, very punctual. Because there's been other docks that I've been to, they've made me wait like 5 hours, and luckily they pay you if you're there for more than 2 hours sitting. But still, it's like, man, we have lives. Even though we have a bed in the back of our truck, that's not very fair to make you sit and wait for 5 hours because you can't figure out how to load a truck, even with an appointment time. So what does it say? Strong gusts of wind, next 20 miles. That's not good, because I don't weigh hardly anything right now. I think I've only got maybe 4 tons of payload left. Pick a couple pallets of paper towels and tissue paper. So yeah, not good. It was pretty windy yesterday, but not too bad down in Idaho, coming up from Utah. So anyways, yeah, well, let's hope this other Costco is just as punctual and get me unloaded real quick so we can head over to our back haul, get it loaded, and head home. Let me introduce myself and who I am. I'm Parker. This is my truck, but I'm not a full-time driver. I'm more or less a local guy, and I work in the yard more, and I manage the fleet. We have 20 trucks about, but most of our trucks do local stuff. We do heavy haul and doubles in Utah, and we only have about 6 trucks that are rated to go out of state, but we're thinking we might sell a couple of them and try and get some newer trucks, possibly expand our fleet. We haul our own material as well as whatever we can find, like these Costco loads, if they pay good enough. I know the market's a little low right now, and fuel's still expensive. This is my truck. I called it Esmeralda. That's the name of the truck. And it's been a good truck, but it is getting up there in mileage. We're at 582, and on top of that, it doesn't get very good gas mileage. I was getting about 7 yesterday. I'm not quite sure why I'm only getting 5 right now. That doesn't make any sense to me. But let me shift. Take cruise control off. It doesn't let me shift when I got cruise control on. This is my truck. It's a 567 or a 579 Peterbilt, and I've got the big X15 engine. And originally, when we bought all of our over-the-road trucks, we thought, hey, we need 500 horsepower. We need a big engine, big Cummins engine, because we're going over a lot of mountains. We drive all over the West, and you need a big engine to go over the mountains. Not necessarily true, and we've kind of just gritted through it because we needed to. And but right now we're looking. There's a couple trucks I'm interested in. Some nice new Cascadias, brand new Cascadias, and a couple of used ones. They're out on the East Coast that we're thinking we're going to buy. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. But probably turn in our trucks. All of our over-the-road trucks are getting up there in mileage. This one's not the highest. The one that's the highest is about 650. Let's see. Shifting it. But yeah, when you're driving over the road, you need reliable trucks, and especially when you're managing a fleet, you can't afford to not have a reliable truck. You have a breakdown, you miss a load, the brokers aren't happy, you lose the load. If it's a serious breakdown that nobody can just call out, come and fix it really quick, you got to get it towed. That's at least $1,000, probably more for a tow to tow you anywhere. If you have to go to a big shop, minimum it's $1,000, probably more. You can't afford to chance it with older trucks. I think I'm going up a hill right now. That's why I'm having such a hard time holding my RPMs. Hold on. But this is my truck, 77. It's been pretty good. I haven't had any serious issues with it. We still have about 100,000 miles left of engine warranty, so we don't have to get rid of it, but just that it's not as fuel efficient. Usually, I'm going up a mountain right now, so that's why I'm getting terrible gas mileage, even with me being basically empty. I'm only hauling 8,000 pounds on me right now. Even going up mountains, I'm only getting 5 miles to the gallon. Peterbilt guys, but man, Peterbilt's really been, they've been extorting us this last 2 years. The prices they're asking for these trucks and the repairs and the warranties they sell us are no good. We've had so many truck issues with the last couple of years. They're beautiful trucks, and Peterbilts do tend to hold their value longer, so if you're trying to resell a truck in a couple of years, it's definitely they'll hold their value long term, but it is very expensive to manage them. So looking at other options, not really into internationals, but the Cascadias seem to be good. The Volvos are expensive too, and I don't know if they're really that much better, so we'll see what we decide to do. But yeah, this is my truck. I don't drive it full time. I only go maybe every weekend or every other weekend if I'm wanting to drive, because I love driving, but most of the time I'm in the yard and dispatching drivers. So alright, well, I'll probably put the phone away and maybe start recording again when I'm, I don't know, picking up my load going home or getting unloaded. Probably go get unloaded, get reloaded with the load going home, and then maybe get some breakfast. So this is cool. I've never been here before. This is it's called, I think it's pronounced Wenatchee, but it's this town I'm coming to drop off in. I've been driving for about an hour and a half, and there's nothing around, but then I just came down this really steep canyon and almost there. So it looks like there's a cute little city in between these big mountains, hidden. Nice. I like this. It's going to be beautiful by the time I get unloaded and head out. Can't wait to see what I couldn't see in the dark. That's the only problem with driving at night, is you don't see everything. Like, I drove over quite a few big cool bridges, but I couldn't really tell what they were. That looks like a dam right there. Starting to get a good sunrise. I wonder if there's a ski resort up there. It's a pretty serious mountain off in the distance. Getting a little bit better gas mileage now, 6.2, but I mean, it really should be better than that, considering I'm not pulling any weight. My air suspension shows only 25 pounds of pressure, so I'm not hauling any weight. So, but that mountain back there, that was a pretty serious mountain I was going up. So that's part of the reason I have really bad gas mileage for this trip. Hopefully by the time I get unloaded and then drive a little bit to my load home, I should be back about 7 miles per gallon. But my load going home is very heavy, so figuring I'll be about 6.5 for the total trip. Low 6-ish miles to the gallon. So, man, this is quite the view. Long drive, but quite good view. All right, we're here. Man, this place is beautiful. Cute little town in the middle of a ravine. In between two, I guess, plateaus. There's Esmeralda, there's my truck. Needs a bath. It was raining a little bit yesterday, got a little dirty. We got the spiked wheels, aluminum wheels. And let's go get checked in. See, my appointment's not till 8:30, so we'll see if I've never been here, maybe they'll load me faster. It looks like they've got, all their docks are full except for that one. Got 5 docks, and plus one of them is blocked by 2 Swift trucks. So, there's another guy waiting up there. I hope he doesn't have to get unloaded. That would suck. But we'll see. Let's go talk to them. Well, the guy was pretty nice. He said as soon as this guy's good and he moves out of the way, they'll unload me. So that's good. I don't know how long that could be though. Man, this is a nice drive. I hope the broker gives us this load again because that's fun and it paid really good too. Looking inside the trailer. Yeah, there's not much left in there. A couple stacks of paper towels. Ooh. Oh, man, it's so hard to get this clip on when your hands are cold. We just put aluminum rims on this tires, aluminum rimmed wheels on this trailer, and the old studs that we put on were too short, so it looks funny. It doesn't look like they're torqued down enough, they won't come off, but I believe that's something a DOT officer could give me crap for. I think the rule is you need 3 threads showing, and they do that so that the bolt's going to come off if you drive for too long, but if it starts vibrating too much because it's loose, it could be a serious issue. This stupid mud flap came off, so I'm gonna have to put a new mud flap on. I tried to wire it on so it doesn't fall off this trip, so hopefully I remember when I get home to put a new mud flap on it. Tires are a little dirty. Wash them, but I'm not losing any caps, so it means it's good and torqued. The temperature is good. So I have been very lucky, even though it's been a cold winter. I have not had to use my chains yet. And those are for my chains, which are over there on the other side. Underneath there, I got chains. It's get warm. Hopefully they don't take too long to unload it. So that was interesting. I was a little bit worried based on my experience in the last Costco where the guy got mad at me and said I couldn't wait in my truck while they unloaded me. I was all worried, so I went and I stood in there, and he's like, "Why aren't you waiting in your truck?" And I'm like, "Because the guys at Yakima got mad at me and said they wouldn't unload me while I was in my truck." And he's like, "No, just don't be an idiot and drive away with my forklift in the back of your trailer." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've never ever done that before. I don't, even after the light screen, I wait till someone tells me to move, or till I get my paperwork or someone tells me ahead of time." Yeah, so red light now. We're back at the dock. You can see the sun coming up over the mountain. It's turning pink and purple. So yeah, life's good. Don't let anybody tell you it's not. So, while I'm sitting here, I have a lot of things that are on my mind that I wanna kind of say. So this is trucking has been a fun thing for me. And we've always had trucks. We've always had local trucks, heavy haul, dump trucks. That's what I got my CDL for, was hauling overweight doubles and dump trucks, side dumps, walking floors, grain trailers. So that's kind of what I got my CDL for, but we never really wanted to get into over the road until the last 2 years. And it's been an absolutely amazing experience for us. But it was really hard, because even going from having a DOT number to getting your MC number, there's a lot of people that say a lot of things who don't really know what exactly, I guess, the requirements are. Maybe if I turn my, didn't mean to turn my throttle on. I don't know if that helps with contrast or not. Even getting your authority just to leave the state you're in and to drive over the road, it's confusing sometimes, and nobody's going to tell you exactly what you need to haul, you know, whatever you're planning on hauling, whether it's dry vans, reefers, flatbeds, which I've never done reefers, but I've done flatbeds. I own a reefer, but the fridge is broken, so we took the fridge off and used it as a van. But so I'm kind of starting this vlog because I want to help drivers get their authority set up. I want to help, you know, the struggle that I've been through, the awkward phone calls that I've had with brokers when I didn't have the correct insurance, you know, things like that. I kind of want to do this channel for that, and, you know, make content to help someone who's thinking of starting a trucking company. The fact of the matter is the market right now is pretty low in trucking. But I don't want to be one of those naysayers on YouTube that says never get into trucking, because that's not helpful to anybody. It might not be the best time. For most people right now, it's probably not the best time to buy a truck. But like I said a minute ago, we're looking at buying maybe 5 more trucks, maybe more. So probably for 80% of the people that want to become an owner-operator first time, yeah, right now is probably not the best time. But it's not that it's never going to happen or that it's impossible. You can still buy a truck and make money today. The biggest thing is your connections. You need to have connections to brokers or shippers. You can't just buy a truck and hope you can make money, because it's hard to make those connections and say, I'm going to drive here to here. It's not like you drive exactly where you want to drive. You drive where the brokers and the shippers tell you to drive, because they're not paying you to go sightseeing. They're paying you to haul their cargo. So anyways, from the experience that I've had registering our over-the-road authority, getting our insurance, figuring out what kind of trucks and trailers work for what you need to do, you know, those are things that I'm thinking I can start a channel for, helping you find loads, do trucking vlogs. Also, I like guns, so maybe I'll do gun videos. I have way more guns than my wife is allowing me to have, and so we'll see if I want to post videos of certain things. Right now, the 2 things that I like to do are drive trucks and shoot guns, and I want to record it and share it, and who knows. So yeah, it's not the worst time to get in trucking if you know what you're doing and you have the connections. If you're a new driver, start working on those connections. A lot of brokers don't want to work with you unless your authority is 3, 6, 12 months old. You'll call people, and even though you've got all the experience in the world and you got the nicest trucks, they'll look up your MC number, your UDOT number, and, you know, if it says that you've only had your authority for 3 months, they'll be, sorry, we don't work with new guys. Not give you the load. And here's a funny thing. I've got tons of stories about this. I've literally been on calls with brokers who have told me, and I know this because I also, the dedicated routes that my guys take, so that I don't have to always be dispatching them, we usually get them directly from the shippers, and the loads that we get just going wherever, those are from the brokers. But I can see on the load boards when brokers are posting the same loads that I've been taking. So I can see what their timeline is. I can see if they don't have this load taken by a certain date, they lose the load. I can see how much they're getting paid and what their cut is. We have one load right now. I won't say anything to jeopardize my loads and get myself in trouble, because, you know, I have to protect my drivers and make sure they have stuff to do. But there's one load right now that we take fairly consistently. It's about 600 miles, We get paid directly from the shipper $2,400, which is about, well, it's exactly $4 a mile, which is great, amazing. I see these guys when if I can't take the load or there's too many loads, and the shippers give them to brokers to try and find other haulers and carriers to take those loads. I can see them posting them for like 16, 17, 1800. So these brokers are taking, 40%, 30%, 20% cut of the load. And I know that because they give it directly to me too. And those are the kind of connections that you have to have set up. So anyways, but what I was saying is they have a deadline. They give you the load and you have a week to pick it up. If you don't have a driver submitted and you don't have that load picked out, they give it to somebody else, you lose the load. So I've literally been on the phone with brokers who have these loads, trying to get them for my drivers for whatever reason. And I know if they don't book that load in like a couple hours, they lose the load. And there are brokers that will literally lose a load, then give it to a authority with less than 6 months of history, or being in compliance history. That's what it says when you look at FMSCSA. It says in compliance or out of service. You have your safety rating, which is how many times you get pulled over and they do an inspection and you fail the inspection. But you want to have a good safety score, but that's not always what determines whether or not you can take a load. The biggest thing is your length of time that you've had your authority. So anyways, that's something to keep in mind. If you are currently a company driver, you're thinking, hey, I want to get my own truck, I want to work for myself, I want to drive where I want to drive. These are things you got to start thinking of. You can pay the $500 just to get your authority, not pay for any insurance, not buy a truck. You can just have your authority and have it all set up, be legal, you pay your fees. That way, even though you're not actively using your authority, it'll track time. And when you do decide to get your own truck and put your sticker on it, you have that 6 months or that year of authority, so the brokers are more likely to work with you. Even though they can't tell that you've driven loads or not the last year, all they care about is how long your authority's been active. Because, the trucking turnover rate is incredible. People get their authority, their truck breaks down, they sell their truck, and they swear off trucking forever. And that kind of sucks, because everyone's truck breaks down. It's the way it is. If you think you're gonna buy a truck and never break down, you're wrong. We have about 22 trucks right now, and 3 of them have blown engines. They're just sitting in our lot, and we haven't decided to pay for them or decided what we want to do with them. And last year, I think we rebuilt 4 engines. Some of them were full out of frame, some of them were just head jobs and partial rebuilds. But maintenance is definitely your #1 expense, especially if you're driving an older truck. New trucks have problems too, but they're different. Typically newer trucks have sensor issues, and typically older trucks have powertrain issues. You blow ahead, your drivetrain comes loose, your differential's out of whack, and you wobble too much, you lose your oil, your seals blow. So all trucks have problems, whether you're new or old. It's what are you willing to deal with. And then there's the other side. What kind of trailers and cargo are you going to haul? Are you going to haul 80,000 pounds? You got to stay local in state and get an overweight permit? Those are the kind of things you have to plan for. So anyways, there's a couple trucks pulling up right now and a couple guys walking around. My light's still red, and I haven't felt, my suspension's still up at about 35 pounds. So anyways, there's the cab. I haven't made my bed. It's a double bunk. I have a little fridge back there. That black box is a fridge. Yeah. So, well, let me know if you guys have any questions or there's anything you want to know about trucking. I don't know everything because I've only been doing it for a little less than 2 years now, over the road trucking. I know a lot about breakdowns, I know a lot about local, but over the road I'm still learning. So but with that said, I have learned quite a bit, and there's a lot of things I'm sure I could tell other drivers to help them. If there's anything they want to know. Oh, felt like that was someone's in the trailer right now. You know, if you want to know what our goal is per mile, what my drivers have to make for it to be worth it for us to send them out, we're going to be selling. I've got a couple trucks listed right now that we're selling, some of the older trucks, potentially looking at some new trucks if you want to know price ranges, or I could do videos looking at truck auctions. I love watching truck auctions and seeing what the prices are. They go up and down. There is opportunity in the scary times. If you're a cash buyer, you've been in the market a while, you're thinking about getting your own truck, you can get a really good used truck right now for probably 30 grand less than it would have been last year, because there's this huge surplus of trucks on the market. A lot of people getting out, selling their trucks, they're done. Trucking's not going away. Even with self-driving trucks, that's still 10, maybe 15 years in the future. So the world runs on trucks. And be smart, but you can buy a good truck right now for a very discounted price, and you have your authority set up, you have everything ready for when the market returns. Even if it doesn't return, you start networking, get in with the brokers, get some good dedicated lanes. You can make some good money in trucking, but it's hard and it's not fun, but it'll be worth it if you can put the time in. So I'm gonna hopefully pull out of here in a minute, go get breakfast, and then see what it looks like for getting my load home.